man accused of breaking onto a boat at the San Diego Marina and terrorizing teenage girls inside faces a judge today.
Why is the city of San Diego releasing nearly 250 million gallons of water into a river when we're in a drought? We go looking for answers.
The request for a Black Santa in San Diego is growing.
And keeping schools safe by connecting with students. We're celebrating more than 20 years of success with Camp Lead.
CBS 8 News Live at 6 starts now.
The man accused of breaking onto a boat docked at the Marina and terrorizing two teen girls inside makes his first court appearance. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Carlo Cicchetto.
I'm Marcella Lee. It happened late Sunday night. Less than an hour ago, 29-year-old Isaac Syriac was arraigned on assault, burglary, and false imprisonment charges.
CBS 8's Shannon Handy was inside the courtroom and has the details.
That arraignment lasted only a couple of minutes. Isaac Syriac pleaded not guilty. If convicted on all charges, he could face life in prison. Isaac Syriac made no comments during his arraignment. He appeared in court by video with a public defender by his side. The judge ordered we not show his face. The 29-year-old is accused of breaking onto a boat docked at the Marina Sunday night and terrorizing two teenage girls inside.
We heard footsteps on the boat. We were extremely freaked out.
On Monday, CBS 8 spoke with one of the victims who wants to remain anonymous. She explained what happened, saying she and her two friends were hanging out on the family boat. When they left, Syriac, who she described as a transient, approached them in the parking lot. One girl got away in her car. The other two ran back to the boat and hid inside. Syriac reportedly followed them, managed to get around a locked gate at the dock and then onto the boat.
He was coming closer to me and my friend, and we grabbed an antique sword that was on the wall and used it almost as like self-defense.
But that didn't stop Syriac, who she says grabbed her during the terrifying ordeal.
Especially when he grabbed my wrist, I thought like this was the end, like I'm not getting out of this.
The girls screamed, which prompted a veteran on a nearby boat to run out and help, disarming and holding Syriac down until Harbor Police came and arrested him.
The courage it took them to they created a defensive position. They hadn't have screamed, I wouldn't have known which boat to get on.
Syriac is being held without bail. His next court appearance is December 9th. For CBS 8, I'm Shannon Handy.
We are in for another chilly night, and it looks like some rain is on the way this week.
Chief Meteorologist Carlene Chavis is here early tonight with a first look at your microclimate forecast. Carlene?
Just say the R word again.
Rain. Fingers crossed. I'm a big fan of the rain.
Me too.
You too?
I'm excited
yes,
for it.
I'm a big fan of the rain.
Maybe not on Friday so much.
Okay.
Don't you have to be outside on Friday?
Beggars can't be choosers.
This is true, but Friday night, not exactly
Just
an
a pause.
issue. Just it's a pause.
A pause button.
A little pause button. That pause goes till Saturday, and then it comes back Saturday night through Sunday. So yes, we are talking about rain in the forecast yet again. So let's go ahead and take a look at what we're talking about, breaking everything down. So we do have a series of storm systems set to move in over the west this weekend. So let's go ahead and focus on the first one. That area of low pressure getting closer towards us brings in an isolated shower or two by Thursday morning, but more of that measurable rainfall when we're talking about 0.05 of an inch up to 1/4 of an inch west of the mountains, potentially even 1/2 an inch across the mountains. We're talking about Thursday night through Friday morning. That's when the bulk of the moisture is expected. You can see that there is two sections when it comes to this. You're seeing that stream of moisture from San Francisco all the way across the Pacific, and then the area of low pressure just towards the west of Oregon. So an atmospheric river is what you're looking at, that low tapping into that moisture. But that is going to decay as it gets closer towards us. So for Southern California, we are talking about good rain chances north of us. Here in San Diego County, we will see some lighter activity. But then we have yet another area of low pressure that's set to move in. That brings in yet another chance. So we're putting the pause button on Friday night, Saturday, and then Saturday night through Sunday morning. That's when our next surge of moisture is expected. It's not expected to be as strong as that first one as we go from about Thursday night into Friday morning. So we'll go ahead and take a look at your complete forecast coming up. Marcella, Carlo.
Thanks, Carlene. A fire aboard the USS Abraham Lincoln aircraft carrier left 9 sailors injured today.
A U.S. Navy spokesman says the injuries are minor and those who were hurt have been released from the ship's medical department. The Abraham Lincoln was conducting routine operations about 30 miles off the coast of Southern California this morning when the fire broke out. The fire is out tonight and its cause is under investigation.
A 27-year-old man is in jail tonight, accused of sexually assaulting an elderly woman inside of a church in Mira Mesa. Hugo Espinoza Martinez is accused of attacking the victim last Friday. Police say he walked into a church on Rickert Road and asked to use the restroom. The woman inside the church asked him to leave after he'd been in the restroom for several minutes, and that is when investigators say he pulled her into a nearby room and assaulted her. Espinoza Martinez was arrested today on Westview Parkway in Mira Mesa and booked on assault and elder abuse charges. Traffic is back to normal in Chula Vista tonight after a big wet mess this morning near East Lake Parkway and Otay Lakes Road. Look at that geyser there. Investigators say the driver of a minivan hit a Dodge Charger, which then crashed into a hydrant, causing that big wet mess. Fortunately, no one was hurt. The crash is under investigation. A potential smuggling incident was caught on camera this morning in La Jolla. Witnesses near the Marine Room tell us they saw about a dozen people, possibly undocumented immigrants, file out of a boat on the beach just before 8 a.m. They also say there were at least 3 cars waiting for the people on Spindrift Drive. We've reached out to Border Patrol and San Diego Police for more information, but haven't heard back.
A story we're staying on for you. A lot of you still aren't getting your checks. You're wondering if your inflation relief money from the state will come in the mail anytime soon. Direct deposits have ended, so now billions of dollars in debit cards have to be sent out. Our political reporter Morgan Reiner has more tonight on that timeline.
The Franchise Tax Board said that it's already finished out sending all the payments to people who were supposed to get it in the form of a direct deposit. They say they're supposed to finish sending out the rest in the form of debit cards by January 14th.
The Franchise Tax Board says they've issued about 7 million direct deposits and 3.5 million debit cards so far. That's about $5.7 billion, but the state is supposed to hand out about $9.5 billion worth of relief. So when is the rest going out? The remaining should arrive in the mail by January 14th. Who qualifies for relief? You must have filed your 2020 tax return by October 15th, 2021. Make less than $500,000 and have lived in California for at least half of 2020 and are still a resident today. Now, direct deposits should have already gone out to everyone who filed their taxes electronically. If you filed using a paper form or have since changed your bank account, you will receive the physical debit card. How much money will you get? The inflation relief payments vary in size from $200 to $1,050, depending on a person's income, filing status, and dependence.
The tax board has an estimator online so that you can see exactly how much money you're supposed to get. I've linked it to the web article on CBS8.com.
Thanks, Morgan. Today, San Diego State University renewed its partnership with Sweetwater Union High School District through the year 2030.
The Compact for Success program expands educational opportunities for students in the South Bay by guaranteeing admission to SDSU.
It makes it so that students just have that pathway and opportunity to attend SDSU, an impacted institution, but still get those opportunities and be able to be successful here.
Once Sweetwater students are at SDSU, they can continue to get support from the Compact Scholars Program, which offers advising, mentoring, and scholarships. It could have slammed the brakes on the holiday season for a lot of families. Tonight, the House has voted on a bill to prevent a possible rail workers strike.
As Skylar Henry reports, this comes after President Biden stepped in and urged lawmakers to take action.
Vote. The yeas are 290, the nays are 137. The joint resolution is passed.
With the clock ticking, House lawmakers voted to adopt a tentative agreement to block a potentially crippling national rail workers strike.
A shutdown would grind our economy to a halt and every family would feel the strain.
The move imposes a contract brokered by the Biden administration back in September that includes a 24% raise over 5 years, despite opposition from several negotiating unions.
It's unthinkable that the 4 railroad unions are holding the nation economically hostage.
Lawmakers also passed a second piece of legislation that would add 7 days of paid sick leave to the agreement.
Most Americans do not get these generous leave policies. This is blatant political pandering.
President Biden asked Congress to step in, warning a rail strike could cost the U.S. economy up to $2 billion a day.
This is a deal that has a lot of benefits.
Economist Jonathan Wright says a strike would put a strain on shipments of coal, lumber, grain, and some holiday gifts.
If one piece of that, if the financing piece, if the transportation piece gets disrupted, that would be a very big threat.
The emergency measure now goes to the Senate.
The key issue is the working conditions in the rail industry, which are absolutely unacceptable.
If a bill doesn't get to the president to sign, a strike could begin next Friday. Skyler Henry, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
Labor Secretary Marty Walsh and Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg will reportedly meet with Senate Democrats tomorrow.
Still ahead tonight, if you swallow a piece of gum, does it really stay in your stomach for 7 years? You probably heard that it did when you were a kid. Tonight we verify.
Plus an update on the Mauna Loa volcano's eruption in Hawaii, where that lava is heading right now.
Parents, please know your child's online activity.
Plus, a woman whose 3 family members were murdered in Southern California speaks out as new details emerge in the case.